I'm so used to no one calling in, right? The person being in person, but she has to be able. And if you could plug it that, yeah. Okay, hold on 1 second. You guys are coming right there, and it goes right in there, and we should be in business. Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me loud and clear. Jodi, are you there? Okay, how come I can't hear Jodi?
I can't either.
And I've got her on the interview line. Jodi? I don't know why we can't hear her. All right, Jodi, do me a favor. Just call back, and we'll see what's happening with that. Beg your pardon? Yeah. Yeah, see if she can call back. Yes, okay. All right, wait. Oh, she's calling right back as well, too. So, good morning, Jodi.
Good morning.
Oh, good. Okay. I was like, how come I don't hear her? What happened?
Yeah, as soon as you put me on hold, it hung up, and I've been calling back.
Oh, that's what. All right, family. So we finally, with technology and everything else, we finally got everything sorted out. So we've got Jodi Covington and we've got Latisha Lister-Burgess, both talking about Bermuda Mental Health Foundation. So who wants to take the lead, ladies? You let me know.
I'm good.
I can take the lead.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So good morning, Bermuda. My name is Jodi. You guys should know me very well. I'm really excited to be here this morning. We're talking about the Bermuda Mental Health Foundation moving forward together. 2-day virtual conference, both virtual and in person. Day one is virtual, which we had a virtual conference about 2 years ago, and it was so well received.
Okay.
We didn't want to lose the virtual element, but we did want to get back to in person, so we figured we would do a 2-day, 1 day virtual, 1 day in person, and it's going to be hosted virtually online with a platform called Hopin, which is the same platform we used last time. And then in person would be at BUEI on the 27th. So it's October the 26th and the 27th. Registration for this event is 100% free.
Oh, it is?
In person, yes, it is. Oh. And the in person is not only free, but it also includes lunch. Powered by BUEI as well. So it's we're doing our thing over here. We're getting back to, not getting back, but we are definitely all about the community here and making sure that we are doing events that enhance, mental health in Bermuda. And to do that, we have to do it together. And that's literally what this event is about.
Okay, now for those that don't know, please give us some background information about the Bermuda Mental Health Foundation.
Absolutely. So the Bermuda Mental Health Foundation is a nonprofit charity organization that sole focus is the mental wellness and mental well-being of those within our community. We have an array of different programs that we run, which includes a housing program. We actually acquire homes, we renovate them, we build them out beautifully, and we then team up with Mid-Atlantic Wellness Institute.
Oh, wow.
That recommends certain clients and individuals that suffer with mental health illness to have adequate places to live.
Yes.
To date, that program has housed 25 individuals. We have 4 homes throughout the island. And we are working on a 5th. We would love to house 50 people in the next couple of years. So we'd love to, which means we have to double that number. We need about 4 more homes.
Okay.
So for those that are listening, you have a house you want to chat or help support that initiative. It is a wonderful program, and you can see what the homes look like on our website,
which is
www.bmhf.bm. We also have an employee kind of certification program where we work with employers around the island to make sure that they are providing a mentally friendly workplace environment for their staff, so they're able to basically earn this kind of designation through the foundation. It is a free program as well. Our members of our board will work with the employer to make sure they have certain things in place, an insurance policy that has mental health and mental well-being, that has mental days, that has policies in place, that has, to make sure that staff, when they go to work, they do feel supported mentally as well. So, we have an array of different things that we do within the foundation. It's been in existence over 30 years.
Has it? Wow.
Yeah. Kind of silent, but pretty effective. We make sure that we get the job done. We've hosted school tours. We've hosted team summits. We've done conferences. And now we're doing a community walk on October 14th. You guys can check that out. And then and at the end of the month, we're going to be doing this conference. So yeah, we got a lot in store.
Now you're talking about mental health, and of course because of COVID, it's been a big huge spotlight shown on mental health. But I was just thinking that what are some of the negative things that people think or the misconceptions about mental health? Because someone would say, "Oh, look, I got a house, but I'm not renting it to them," type of thing, or "Okay, you want me to be a part of this employee certification, but I don't know if I'm sure I'm able to deal with that type of person." So what would you say to those people that are listening in now?
So I think a big part... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
No,
I'm sorry. Were you asking?
It could be for either.
You know what? Okay, perfect. So I'll answer first. So I would say, we are all one incident away from requiring mental health support. Mm-hmm. So it is in our best interest that we all participate and we learn and we support mental health in Bermuda. Because today we may be fine and tomorrow a traumatic thing happens.
Wow. And
we're not fine. And we will need the exact same support that you, in essence, will be denying to someone else.
Wow.
So it's really critical to remember that mental health is no respect of person.
Thank you.
Or socioeconomic status. It doesn't mean that you can, you just because you're not doing certain drugs or whatever the case may be, you're not exempt from requiring mental health support. You can go through a death. And you can go through, which we all go through, some form of stress in our families. You can go through a accident that changes or alters the chemicals within your brain. These are things that can swiftly happen, and you will then need the same level of support that you are, denying or not interested in right now. And so the key is to rid us of that thought that I don't want to rent to these people because these people are us.
You just said it.
It is me.
Yeah, these people are us.
Children.
Yes.
And so, people with mental disabilities, we can argue all day that we all have some form of.
Yeah, we could, yes.
We all have some form of mental disability, whether it is mild, medium, or severe. So I would just say that, remember we're all one incident away. And I had a supervisor years ago when I worked in, deeply in the mental health space that used to remind us in every single morning meeting. Remember, we're all one incident away from sitting on the opposite side of that table. You're all one incident away from, requiring this level of support. So be kind, be gentle, and love each other, through the hard times. So
absolutely.
That's what I would say to that.
All right, Latisha?
Well, I was going to say, we also have to remember statistics. So 1 in 5 people are going to have a mental health issue in their lifetime.
Is it
1 in 5?
No way.
And during the pandemic, that number actually drastically shifted. And so the World Health Organization put out a report last year that said during the pandemic, 1 in 2 females and 1 in 3 males had experienced anxiety or depression directly as a result of us all being home, us all having concerns about our health, having to be apart from each other. So it's not just this person who may be struggling, it's us.
Right.
And one of the things that I saw a lot as a mental health professional is that people genuinely think that mental health is the person in the street or the person who's attached to MWI.
Hello.
But how many of us know someone who struggled with depression?
Hello.
How many of us struggle with anxiety?
Yep.
Whether
go ahead.
It's, oh my gosh, I have a test coming up and that feels overwhelming.
Yes.
Or, I don't know if I can, do this next thing in my life. I know people who've given up promotions because they're like, I don't know if I would be able to, lead team meetings.
Okay.
But we don't think of that as mental health.
No.
versus in an organization, if we start to focus on how do we make it for everyone to be able to bring their best self to work.
I love that, yes.
Then we take it away from the realm of who is sick and who is well to we all need certain things in order to be at prime mental health capacity.
Yes, we do.
You know, when we talk about stress levels, when we talk about how we assign work, when we talk about is it okay to say, you know, I feel overwhelmed here. Is it okay to say I'm taking a mental health day and someone is judging you for it? Because I've seen organizations that have like mental health days. But they're like, don't actually use them.
Oh, what?
They're like, wait,
what you need?
Do you need that? And it's like, well, you have it as part of your package for us.
Thank you.
So it's really about normalizing that mental health doesn't look the way we think it is.
Thank you.
It really is the day-to-day life stressors.
Yes.
I mean, I'm thinking even in my own life, after the birth of my first son, I had postpartum depression.
Did you?
And I'm a mental health practitioner.
Well, hello, not you. Right.
But it really hit really hard.
Thank you for your transparency. I love this.
I think that's important.
Absolutely is.
We act like, well, who is it? And I'm like, this is what I do for a living, and it's me, you know? And there's recovery, and, you know, things get better, but, you know, it definitely knocked me off my feet, because I was like, wait a second, no, this is what I do for a living.
That's it.
And so I always want to put that piece of normalization in it, because we think of schizophrenia, or, you know, bipolar disorder, but we don't think about anxiety, or depression, or PTSD, or prolonged grief.
Wow.
All of that is the mental health field.
And you know what? I always say to my listeners, I said, you know, when, you know, we're so quick to go to the doctor, but are we quick to think about our mental health? You know, go ahead.
So one of the things I always say,
Latisha's like, wait a minute.
I was like, wait a second. I always say to people, the same way you go annually for your physical checkup, get a mental health checkup every year. Hey, do you know if you're doing okay? One of the organizations I love in the States has, and I can't now off the top of my head think of its name, but I think it's the American Mental Health Foundation, has these mental health screenings that you can take online.
Wow.
And in fact, on our own webpage, at my organization, we also have screenings online that you can take.
Really?
So look at things like depression or anxiety or, you know, your social skills, those kind of things, because we often can't see ourselves clearly.
Yes.
So I say it's always critical just to have that check-in with yourself.
Wow, I love that.
Or even just asking people in your life, hey, is there something in my life that you see different?
Yes.
That you think I could work
Absolutely.
on? Because sometimes we can't see it. But I promise you, the people in your life, they always see it. And they're like, ooh, yes, I've been waiting for this opportunity to tell you that. So in love,
I love that.
You know,
it's supporting each other.
If I can just...
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I always tell people as well, like, you know, the power of the mind. Right? Like, our mind has a sole purpose of, like, protection and making sure that we're okay. And sometimes to do that, it has to, in essence, distort our realities. You know, sometimes, and I actually find with schizophrenia quite fascinating in that the mind is, it's like a superhero to us sometimes, you know, and sometimes our realities are so difficult to deal with. It's causing an immense pain and an extreme anxiety within our body that, you know, the mind has the ability to distort our reality. And sometimes it's just to help us cope and move through difficult situations.
Yes.
So, I mean, and so every time I think of individuals that, you know, like I used to work with women that were, you know, abused, and, like, you know, for us it's like, don't you see that he's abusing you? And it starts to hurt. He's abusing the kids, and what are you saying? Well, you know, their mind, it's such a horrible situation. The mind in these situations ends up distorting that reality, causing them to downplay the abuse or to, you know, go through the Stockholm syndrome, even fall in love sometimes immensely with the abuser. That is the power of the mind that's unable to deal with that stressful situation. And this happens every single day. So from a minor situation where, as Latisha said, like, ask your family if they're seeing differences in you. And you don't even see, like, why are you so aggressive lately, or why are you so protective,
cold or distant, and
like, these are things that the mind is doing to help almost protect you, and you're, you know, having fear responses and trauma responses. This subject gets really, really deep, but
it does.
Nikita, this affects all of us.
All of us, absolutely.
This is what we all go through. As a matter of fact, when I was getting my master's degree in psychology, it was required for me to go through my own set of counseling.
Yep. See, I love that.
It's required for counselors to get counseling. And that is how important it is.
Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes more so, there's still that stigma. I'm thinking, is it still that stigma Black people don't get counseling?
Yeah.
And that's what I want us to do away with. Yes, you do get counseling. Otherwise, we're going to walk around dysfunctional with our families the way they are if we don't get help. Please. How easy, Latisha, is it to get...
We are.
Yes. Okay, yes.
We are currently. Black people need a universal... therapy session.
Wow. I love that. A universal therapy session.
We've been through so much.
Yes.
Since we were placed on this planet. I mean, we just date back 100 years. We've gone through, slavery and all types, John Crow in the United States, and Bermuda had its own set of issues and, land grab and gentrification and, complete annihilation of our communities, things getting burned down and taken from. Black people, we all just need to come together and give ourselves one big counseling session. Because we all are walking around trauma-filled.
Yes.
We all are walking around scared and defensive. It's very rare that we can live freely and authentically within who we are. Then you bring in colorism and some of these other factors. We are truly a people that 100% should embrace therapy, counseling, and anything mental health, any type of mental health resources should be our top priority.
Yes.
Because we've just gone through so much as a community. And so when we do things like this free community conference, we should be the first in line to understand and learn about how we can cope and better understand what is happening within our bodies and learn these great coping mechanisms and how to even support each other. We have so many amazing discussions happening, whether you are a teacher and are we prioritizing our educators' mental health, whether you are a male in Bermuda, and are we, how do males deal with their own mental health?
Yes.
How are we, working with, just how are we accessing mental health services in Bermuda, and the impact of, being mentally, how that impacts on our families and how it impacts how we parent, how social media impacts.
Oh my gosh. That's a whole nother thing.
But these are all, what I'm listing are the topics that we are going to be discussing on October the 26th and the 27th.
Yes.
And it's so very critical that we as a community, we get in there, we discuss this.
Thank you.
We're vulnerable.
Yes.
And we get the information that we need, and we pass the information on to our significant others, to those that were unable to attend, and we really start healing, moving forward together, which is the name of the conference.
Oh, is it?
Moving forward together.
Moving forward. I love that.
Yeah.
Now, what time is it on?
We got to do this together.
Moving forward together. What time is the virtual conference on Thursday the 26th?
The virtual conference will start at 10 in the morning, so at 11 in the morning, so not too early. You get up, have your breakfast, do everything you need to do in the morning, and then simply log in. You don't even have to go anywhere for the virtual conference,
Right.
Log in on your computer, turn it up loud, invite some people over, watch, be a part. There's several different events that will be happening, so you can go to the one that you want to go to or participate in as many as you want. And then the day 2 will start at 11 o'clock as well at the UBI. Again, it's free. The first, I think it's 120, because the UI can only hold 140. We get the free lunch. We still have some room for the free lunch aspect of that. So you guys go on the website. If you're listening, please pull up the website. moving forward together. Register for the conference and let us know you're gonna be there.
Yes.
You know, we even have Dr. Karika Weldon.
Oh, Dr. Karika, okay.
Yeah, doing a session on mental health medications.
Good.
And how that looks in terms of our not go with size, our DNA, our genome, whether the medication is actually, made for those of Caribbean ancestry, which is her women and what they're studying. So, I mean, we're coming with a lot of great speakers and great topics. One, Rich is in your studio today. Latisha has always kind of supported the foundation and made herself and her expertise available to support us in our endeavors as well. And she is going to be leading up the working in mental health education, licensing, and discipline. So, and I can let her talk more about that. And I'm so excited.
Look at it. I'm like,
so I did briefly want to talk about that one because and this is why I'm so passionate about this topic. I often have people come back from school, graduate, have a master's in hand, and they're like, I want to be a counselor now. I want to be a therapist.
Yes.
And I'm struggling to get hired. And that's when I start having questions around, hey, are you licensed?
Oh, wow.
Are you certified?
Whoa.
Is your school accredited?
Oh, my gosh.
Did you do a practicum or an internship? Do you have a lot of book knowledge and actually know supervision? You pick this master's, but actually, you say you want to be a drug and alcohol counselor, but you actually did forensic psychology.
Oh, my gosh.
So all of those kind of things, people get lost in. And so it's really critical to have a space that says, let's understand the disciplines better.
Okay.
Let's understand the differences between them. Let's prepare ourselves in a way that actually gets you into the career that you want.
Yes.
That gives you the longevity in this field that you want. Because every school is not the same. Every program is not the same. Just like Jodi, this program I went to, Drexel University, I did my master's in family therapy. It was a requirement that all of us had to be in therapy the first year.
Wow.
Because their mindset is, how dare you sit on the other side of the couch if you've never felt this? You don't know how vulnerable it is. And also, if you haven't worked through your own stuff, you're just going to be bleeding all over your clients.
Hello. Thank you.
And I find there is an unwillingness for us to look at why we think the way we think. Even in the helping professions, a lot of people come in because they have their own trauma and they're like, I want to do something more than someone did with me. And I'm like, wait, but have you worked through your stuff first?
Oh,
or are you going to be showing up horribly in these rooms?
Yes.
So it's so critical that we think about all of that stuff intentionally.
Yes, okay.
That's exactly why I chose my program, actually. I was like, I want to think like these people.
Wow.
I want a program that's going to be very, very deliberate about making sure that I am emotionally healthy so I can help others be emotionally healthy.
That's it.
And so when we're talking about this kind of topic, it's really critical to me because I want people, whether it's someone in high school who's like, I want to be a therapist when they grow up.
Right.
Let's talk about that now. Whether that's someone who is in their 40s or 50s and they're like, I want to change in career and I want to do something. I've always been the person my friends come and talk to.
Right.
I want to do something. Okay, well, let's make sure you get there in a way that makes sense. Or you're in this field and you're like, I want to do something different.
Okay.
Or I want to work on my certifications. Or how do I keep myself still active and agile in this field? Let's talk about that.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, I always say there is room for more mental health practitioners in Bermuda. We have so much need and not enough providers.
Okay.
But what we need are people who are qualified.
You said it, licensed, certified.
People who have done their own personal work.
Say that again. Own personal work. I love it.
And actually have the work experience to do this work well. As I tell people all the time, you can't jump into the big cases and be like, hey, I've done no practicum, no internship, but I read a statistics book and I did a weekend certification thing, and now I actually want to work with people who are struggling with complicated divorce. No, ma'am. No.
I love your transparency and honesty. I do. You know what? You were talking about different age groups just now, whether you're high school, whether you want to change careers and things like that. Well, I was going to ask you,
this
the virtual conference
is for anyone. So
thank you.
The good thing is school is actually out that week.
Oh,
so
that's
if
what's
you
going
are a
on.
parent and you're like, me and my child are going to be sitting in all of this, then come. Bring yourself, bring a coworker, bring a grandparent, bring your whole village. You're like, some of these classes, not even some, all of these classes are amazing. Jodi was talking about them. Yes. But we have social media. We have Chardonnay Rollins, who's going to be teaching one of the classes. We have Sandy De Silva, who's going to be teaching a classes. And she's doing one on social media with kids. Wow. We have classes around, male and mental health. How do we talk things out as men? Yes. We have classes around, hey, like she said, the part for the business world of, is your company mental health friendly?
Hello, yes.
But we also have parts for the family around how do we deal with addiction? How do we parent when you're struggling with addiction? Yes. Or how do we parent with the one I love the most, the superwoman complex?
Oh, my goodness.
I saw a meme the other day and it really resonated with me. It said, super mom, super tired.
I like that. Super mom, super tired.
And I was like, yes. And so many women
absolutely
have these capes that are dragging on the floor. You better believe it. And we're tired.
That's it. So
how do we really look at our mental health in the concept of wellness?
I love this.
We want to be emotionally healthy.
Yes, we
want to be mentally healthy. We want to be physically healthy. Yes. And I always say, you can eat all the kale you want. You can do all the marathons you want. But if your mind isn't right,
that's right,
the body tells the score.
Look at that. If your mind isn't right, your body tells the score. That's it. Hello. Well, look, I want to go back to something as well. Because you did talk about having an annual mental health checkup.
Yes.
How easy is that? Like you said, companies being mental health friendly. I will say, thank you, boss. Honor Communications is definitely mental health, supportive.
It's easy. So one of the things, well, let me take that back. It's not easy.
Okay.
It's easy if you have access to mental health services. One of the classes actually that's here is like looking at the access to mental health, because one of the things Bermuda struggles with is having enough mental health support and in a way that people can actually access and afford.
Okay.
So, for example, this is just my hat. I work at EAP Bermuda, as you know. But we provide services to people who are with us. So if you're not with us, we can't provide you services. And
so how many companies are you with? Because I know we're with you.
We have 200 plus companies.
Oh, you do? Okay.
But that's not every company in Bermuda.
Okay.
And so there are often people who will say, well, I don't have an EAP.
Right.
And private psychology is $400 a session.
Oh, wow.
And that's a real thing.
Okay.
And Bermuda struggles with that. Now, when I was in grad school, I worked at a place called NET, which is Northeast Treatment Center. And Philadelphia did something that I thought was so amazing. They divided up the city into quadrants.
Oh, stop
and so in each quadrant, there was a free mental health facility where you could come and just get support. So I worked in this section with children. They had a drug and alcohol section.
Right.
They had, a parenting section. But that's what they were doing as a community.
Okay.
Bermuda doesn't really have that yet. So MWI.
You heard what she said. Yet. She said the key word, yet. Latisha's coming back to tell us when it's going to happen, but go ahead.
We're putting that out into the atmosphere, and I'm excited to partner with anyone around that. But you see what I mean? Like, we don't have that yet. And so in the private practice, there's some really great practitioners, but that may be pricey. And insurance only covers so much.
Right, okay.
For EAPs, there are about 3-4 of us on island, and that's not every company.
Oh, wow.
For MWI, they do a great job, but they are the only place for the whole community.
Yes.
And so they are always overstretched. The Family Center does an amazing job, but they also are, doing a lot for kids, and so they're overstretched.
Okay.
And so one of the things that we often talk about is just being intentional around that. So, for example, if I'll speak for myself. I have a 5 and a 7-year-old, and they are very amazing boys, but they're a lot of energy, and so even though I know this work, I think, okay, how can I improve my parenting?
Oh, wow.
And so I have reached out to the Family Center and said, hey, what parenting classes are you taking?
I love this.
And so thinking of that stuff in advance.
Yes.
Or maybe you're someone who thinks, let me just check in with my GP.
Okay.
Because that's a thing that a lot of people don't know. You can actually go and do what's known as a depression screen or an anxiety screen with your GP.
Okay.
And so the same way now, you don't want to wait till you have a 10-minute appointment and say, hey, I'd like a full anxiety screen. And they'll be like, I have 7 patients in the waiting room. But if you talk to your GP in advance and say, hey, I'd like to do an anxiety screen or a depression screen.
Thank you.
That takes a little more time, so they'll book it differently, the same way they would book for an annual physical.
Absolutely.
They can do that. So that's one way of getting in to do it that way. The other way is doing it as a mental health screen. Like I said, we actually, if you go to eap.bm, we actually have screenings you can do online. We also invite people to reach out for free resources. So I know during the pandemic, like Solstice was providing free and low cost. I know for us, if you're with one of our member companies, you can utilize us. But we also have an intern right now with us who is able to see people who aren't necessarily with us because he needs to graduate. So we're like, let's get you some clients. So you see, companies have found ways to be flexible.
I love that. And
so one of the things I often say is we don't always know what all of our resources are.
We don't.
And start asking the questions.
Thank you. Just you said
asking the questions.
Family, she said it right there.
Ask the questions.
Thank you.
Because you don't know everything, but I always say it's better to know in advance before something overtakes us.
Okay. I love this. Well, you guys, you see what time it is. It's after 11. It's supposed to be a 15-minute interview for like 30 minutes. But let me say thank you so much. Jodi Covington, thank you so much. Is there any closing words, any shout-outs or any things that you need to do?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that, for bringing that back, because these are topics that, we can all talk about
all day.
I want to do a shout-out to Chubb for their sponsorship and support. Also, BF&M for their sponsorship and support. Barrett, who has always sponsored and supported us as well. I do want to do a shout-out to all of the speakers that are part of this event. We're looking forward. There's so many of you guys, so I'm not going to list them, but we're looking forward to having you guys. And if you guys are interested in terms of the public are interested in attending, again, it's free. You can register right on our website, BMHF.bm. That's the name for Bermuda Mental Health Foundation. So BMHF.bm, and come with your questions. Come ready to have these conversations. Meet with your local professionals. We care about you. We love you, and let's get through this thing together. So we look forward to seeing you guys at the end of the month, October the 26th and 27th. And thank you, Nikita, for your support as well.
No, my pleasure. Let me ask you this. I do have a lot of seniors that listen in, and they may need a phone number. Is there a phone number or anything where they can reach out to someone that may guide them?
Yes. So there's a phone number. It's 703 0003.
Okay.
Oh, that's easy.
703-0003. Go ahead.
Yep. info@bmhf.bm. So if you want to talk to someone, if you want to be involved, you have some opportunities for vendors. Actually, I'm glad you mentioned that. If you want to be a vendor, distribute information at the in-person event, get in contact with us. This is definitely a community event.
We want
more people that are involved with the community to participate. So you can email us, info@bmhf, and we'll be happy to reach out and have a chat with you.
All I think of is if you want to heal Bermuda, or you want Bermuda to be healed, like their theme says, let's move forward together, family. Latisha, who you want to shout out to?
Really quick, EAP Bermuda and my fabulous team. To my great board chair, Josine Harmon. She is amazing. Makes my life mental health friendly. To my hubby, to my kids, to my family, to my sister, who's the MVP. I'm taking my kids next week.
I love you, sister.
I just want to thank all my village. It's so necessary and critical.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much.
And what's the number to EAP?
So 292-9000, or you can always email us info@eap.bm.
And if you haven't had your mental health checkup this year,
get
it done, family, okay? Again, Jodi, Latisha, you guys have been amazing.
Thank you.
You got to come back. We got to come back. We got to heal our island. But thank you so much. You guys got all the information. We got to get into that 11 o'clock book club hour. I've got Jerusalem coming up. You're going to have to do the Jerusalem without me this time, okay? I'll come back and I'll direct you through it later. So keep it here. It's Magic 102.7.
102.7 WMJ FM Bermuda.